Hello and welcome everyone, I'm Madals and today I've got game number 1 of a best of 1 coming up. It's a cool game and spawning up in the top right hand position as the blue Terran, it is none other than my Insanity's Jjakji. And his opponent down in the bottom right, it is the red Protoss player. I have no idea because they're a Barcode. They are a GM player. Also, sounds are muted and rather than restart this cast, I'm just going to casually, jump in here and work out. No, it's not muted. What? Okay, I'm not going to admit this. I had my headphones muted. I'm embarrassed now. But, anyway, that's all good. Moving on swiftly. This is a Terran versus a Protoss game. Jjakji's doing an amazing run. He's qualified for WCS EU Challenger. Of course, I'll be casting that this weekend. I'll be casting the following weekend, IEM, and the weekend, or the weeks after that, I'll be casting WCS EU Challenger. All of which I'll be doing with a lovely penguin from my Insanity. So make sure you tune in on all those things. WCS Europe 2 is the Twitch channel. So yeah, it'd be awesome to have you there. And yeah, it's going to be sweet. Now, this game, Jjakji going for a Barracks first. Pretty much standard. Probably going to go for a Reaper. So many Terran players go for Reaper first. And there's so many good reasons for that. Firstly, you get a bit of scouting information. Almost unobstructed scouting information, which is probably the most important thing. Bit of cliff area around here you can jump in. Obviously, on a map like Frost, any spawn positions are possible, so you need to get that information as quickly, and Reapers are fast and you can get around there. But secondly, you can get a couple of probe kills, because only Stalkers or the Mothership Core can actually stop a Reaper. So it can keep coming in, poking, prodding, generally being a bit of a pain, and may get a little bit of damage done. Meanwhile, the Protoss player currently just going very standard. 1 gas, 1 gate, 1 cyber core. All good. 3 workers in that gas. You see quite a few Protoss players opt to get both gas geysers, but put 2 in each early on. That allows you to get the Mothership Core out, get a Stalker or a Sentry out relatively quick, depending on what kind of tech you want to do. But anyway, Jjakji busy getting down his Reaper now, sending an SUV out to scout as well, just to get as much information that he could possibly hope for, find out that spawning location of his opponent, and generally just get everything sorted quick. Now, while we're waiting to see what these two are going to do, I've got to tell you a little fun story. A friend of mine has got a new laptop, and it's got Windows 8 on it. And my god, I forgot how irritating Windows can be until you set it up properly. It sits there and asks you, are you sure you want to download this program? And then when you're like, yes, I am, it then like blurs out the screen and comes up with another box asking you if you're sure that you're sure. What is up with that? Can you imagine if that happened in like in everyday life? Like imagine every time you try to open a door, it like asked you, like, are you sure you want to open this door? And you're like, yeah, and you turn the handle, and then it like buzzes at you, and it's like, are you really sure though? Every time like you go in your car, every time you went to the shops, imagine how unsuccessful Steam purchases would be in their Steam sales if they asked you if you were sure. Like everyone would be like, it's on a 75% discount, buying it, and it was like, are you sure? People would actually be like, actually am I? And they probably wouldn't buy anything. It's terrible. Should stop. Anyway, Jjakji's had to run his little Reaper away because, as we see, the Barcode player is being rather aggressive currently. There's Mothership Core, Zealot Stalker coming and poking. Jjakji isn't really too bothered. He's actually repairing up his SCVs with his SCVs because you should never leave an SCV behind. More importantly, because he's unaware whether more pressure's coming. Jjakji's vision hasn't seen too much. He is engineering bay blocking, though, the natural, and this poor little probe is just like, what the actual... Yeah. Not fun. Anyway, second Stalker gets pushed back. This bunker dealing a good amount of damage. Mothership Core is delaying that command center just by picking up any SCVs to start making it. Reaper goes for a ninja kill there. Marines helping to push back to Zeta. Gets taken out. Only 1 Stalker surviving. But Jjakji has been forced to cancel his natural base, which of course is a little bit frustrating, but not the end of the world. Widowmine and Starport on their way out here, so Jjakji is going into more of a defensive position, could go for some drops following this on, but critically, he's not too concerned about the fact that his natural was forced to cancel, because by getting this engineering bay, he's certain that there's no possibility the Protoss player has taken theirs. At the moment though, 1 SCV makes a ninja little move up here, unfortunately gets sniped off before it's able to see the fact that the Twilight Council is getting made, so no tech choices being revealed as of yet, but Jjakji, he's just playing it so standard and safe with this 1-1-1 in the expansion that really it'd be difficult shy of a massive all-in for anything to happen. Now, just keeping an eye out to see whether the natural is taken. I think it should be. There's the 400 minerals. I'm expecting to see this Protoss player go for that expansion. There's not really much else that the money can be spent on. But with Blink being chrono boosted out, some more gateways should be added into the mix shortly. But in comes the Reaper. Is it going to get the scout? Good little bit of control there by Jjakji, pulling it out of the range of the mothership core. And we'll now see that the Twilight Council is there and that it is researching. I think that was seen anyway. Yep, it was. So that's all good. Jjakji now has got a good idea of what's going to be coming down. So with this, Jjakji adds on a couple more barracks. He needs to increase his production. May opt to put a bunker up in the main base around here, but judging by the timings of this, Jjakji's already got a couple of Widow Mines out. He's getting incredible production going, and with all of that, it's just great, to be honest, that he's going to be able to defend it. But this push is going to hit pretty soon, but oh no, there's the Widow Mines! Those Stalkers are going to take so much damage. Oh, they're bouncing it out of range. God, that was so bold. Jjakji moves back now with those 2 Widow Mines. There is no Observer out. The robotics facility only just now getting started. And with that, it means there's no Observer, no way to detect those Widow Mines. Scans going down. Where's Jjakji moved those Widow Mines to? That's what I want to know. Oh, he's going for drop them. Did he actually see that these Stalkers were coming up? I'm not sure if he did, but now the drop coming across, and already this Barcode player pulling all of his stuff back. What's he pulling this back for? That's what I want to know. What has happened? What has Jjakji done? I'm not quite sure, but it seems this player was aware that the drop was incoming, but we had quick little push down there. 1 Widow Mine instantly gets taken out. 2nd Widow Mine only managing to kill a single probe, so not too much damage, but this is all buying Jjakji time. He's got a bunker up in his main, so if the push did come now, he's got that quite secure. Adding on some tech labs, that's the one thing that Jjakji is currently missing, is any stim, any combat shield or anything like that coming down. What he does have is a siege tank on its way, so he's going to have a second one just adding in there. Good defensive position and generally holding on pretty solid. He's also got +1 infantry weapons coming down, and that's just going to really start helping and really start adding up the damage, especially once stim and combat shields start coming through. So, as everything still stands, they're both just ramping up. Neither are in the mid-game position that perhaps they wanted to be because of that earlier aggression and obviously the natural block. So their economies were delayed, their income's delayed, and therefore their entire build orders being delayed as a result of that. But with the robotics play on its way, Colossi will still be coming out, although a little bit later than perhaps otherwise intended. Jjakji, he's got stim, but again, a lot later than you normally see. Interestingly, coming over here with that starport, the factory flowing over as well, that should be powering an add-on, most likely a reactor. Should be on its way. Supplementing another medevac. That factory not yet starting. The reactor, Jjakji just spending all of his money very efficiently. APM-wise, Jjakji playing just a little bit faster averagely. 211 compared to 187, so he's... Again, Jjakji's just been doing such a good performance recently, it's very impressive. The Protoss player with this Observer gets a good amount of vision, critically just trying to keep a little peek to see whether there's any Widow Mines about. Jjakji also playing it safe, getting a missile turret there too. Double upgrades on their way out though from the Barcode Protoss, and that's actually going to allow him to catch up with the +1 that's on its way out for Jjakji, and also overtake with the aid of Chrono Boost, so that's all solid. Simultaneously though, Jjakji just trying to keep a really solid defensive position for the moment. As you can hear there, my cough has still not quite gone. It's terrible. Luckily I can mute my mic, otherwise that could be terrible. But anyway, Siege Tank just doing a good job, getting a couple of shots down there. The medevac playing quite a crucial role in keeping vision forward. The important thing to note as well though is Jjakji moving out with a small group of units, trying to cut off these Stalkers' retreat, but also taking out the proxy pylon, really shutting down too much more pressure, but the Protoss player knew it was coming because of the Observer placement. So as it stands, both have been relatively passive, although there's been a soft contain being placed on by the Protoss, not really trying to do any critical damage. Instead, expanding out towards the third now, playing it quite greedy. Jjakji does not have a third command center on its way. He's just going for a lot of pressure. These two supply depots just give good vision around everywhere, but look at the size of this push. It's a +1 timing. 1-1 upgrades for the Protoss player, still about 55 seconds off the mark. That's a big window of opportunity that Jjakji is looking to exploit with these tanks and infantry units. He's got a decent number of medevacs too, up at 5. 2 more boosting their way over, while a third command center gets started. So Jjakji pushing while expanding. This is a good amount of units without splash damage. The first Colossus only just hit the field, but no extended thermal lance. That's just kicked in now. Photon overcharge is on its way through. Jjakji with these two tanks sieging up now, going to aid with a bit more damage. The gateway units starting to get taken out. And while this Colossus is dealing good damage, a second one comes in from behind. That's going to the flank. But of course, with the tanks there and the infantry jumping on top of it, great control will pick up one of those Colossi. But Jjakji's push forced to retreat back. Currently, we can see the workers killed, only one by Jjakji for the moment. Worker count 3 behind, but he's got those 2 mules, giving his income a slightly better standing for the moment. Although, it's not by a huge amount. The gas income just better for the Protoss player. But wow, one Marine actually doing a hero's job, scouting out the fact that the third's been taken. And now, it's all going to come down to kind of mid-game composition, and it's where Jjakji starts powering in a couple more Vikings to deal with the Colossus. But also, on the plus side for the Protoss player, it's the double upgrades. 2-2 getting started, as plus 1 is only just about to be done for Jjakji. Off of that single engineering bay. Second one getting started as well as the armory, so 2-2 can get started. But with the advantage already there with 2-2, plus the chrono boosts, it will give the Protoss player a good window to try and exploit an upgrade lead. What we've got to keep a good eye out for now is, considering the fact that Twilight Council is already done, is the point at which the Templar Archives is thrown into the mix. Because the Colossi have been revealed, it's quite a smart move to try and get down that Templar Archives relatively quick, knowing that your opponent will be chucking out a lot of Vikings. It's always going to be the way, and if you leave a Terran player only having to deal with Colossi or High Templars to splash, they'll just either get a lot of Ghosts or a lot of Vikings. It's that balance between them, forcing a Terran to really match up and get the correct composition that can be tough. But Jjakji moving forward again before 2-2's done, so the upgrade lead is equal. A couple of units getting warped through here, but those Zealots getting torn apart. Vikings moving very far forward since there's no Stalkers on the ground to start tearing this through. At the same time, drops coming down at the third base. This is what's keeping the Stalkers' attention, and has the Protoss player been a bit too greedy. Vikings are going down in number. One Colossus incredibly low on health, another one with no shields. But it's the infantry that's dealing a lot of damage. One Colossus falls, another one is so low. An additional Colossus is about to pop though, taking it back up to 3. But still, so much damage being done here by Jjakji. He's now picked off 17 workers. That's solid. And the Colossi starting to fall. Go down, 2-2 upgrades are about to kick in for the Protoss player. But the timing of this push by Jjakji, so solid, because it's allowing him to deal so much damage before the Protoss player gets an upgrade lead. So the third Nexus is going to fall. That puts Jjakji a base up. He's still pressuring forward. Only one Colossus on the field at the moment. This is looking very solid for the My Insanity player. The Vikings trying to tear through that Colossus. Of course, the Stalkers did manage to pick one off, but the rest of the Vikings still working very effectively. Down goes that Colossus now, and leaving only a few infantry units, which will force the retreat. But of course, reinforcements still coming through. Medevac production restarted since the Colossus count back to 0. There's still the 4 Vikings, so that's enough to deal with a single Colossus when it pops. But Jjakji, I suspect, is going to go for another push very quickly, knowing he's weakened his opponent. A few sentries will buy a bit more time for the Protoss player, but look at the economy. Look at these income amounts. So in favor of the blue player, and it's really going to be difficult to try and level out this game. What the Protoss player needs to achieve at the moment is some great engagements. This Colossus has to stay up. That splash damage essential. The critical mass of Colossi need to be reinforced, but Jjakji is not allowing that to happen. Pressuring in. The Stalkers, the sentries starting to go down. Control being really shown here. But with the Colossus going down, GG is called, and Jjakji will take this game. And of course, seeing a best of 1. The series. So, if you enjoyed the cast, like the video, leave a cool comment, and of course subscribe. I get new games up daily, and so I'd love to catch you all tomorrow for yet some more awesome StarCraft. Thanks for watching, I'm Madals, bye for now.